It's ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Valerie for 1 o'clock drawing class with Valerie Wallace Fine Arts. Today we're going to do a cool dragon with maybe like a warrior or a warrior princess or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's a girl form of warrior.
Also a warrior.
Okay. So today I'm going to do a pastel in color, big up here so you can kind of see what's going on. I'm also going to, ooh, gross. There's a big hair on here.
Gross.
Probably yours.
Down here I'm going to do one with some Sharpies. So if you get your hands on even a ballpoint pen, that would be great too. And we're going to do a little cross hatching today, you know, or you can just do pencil, or you can do, you know, whatever you want. But that's what I'm going to do today. Okay, we ready? Are we ready? Can we start? Okay, let's do it. Without further ado, all right. I don't think I need to hold these right now. Just remind me to do both. Okay. If you look at the dragon, it is basically a worm or a snake, right? You see it? One long piece, okay? 4 legs, short, sturdy legs.
Yeah.
And you know, when the head is get some horns on top, okay? Don't let me forget, I want to put these little triangles on here after we do the neck, or after we do the head, okay? And then the great wings, okay? But this is a great dragon to do. It's very simple. Okay, we're gonna start right here. Do you see how that's sort of a rainbow?
Yes.
And then there's a little rainbow on the belly. Okay, this is what we're gonna start with. I'm gonna draw darkly with my gold, my ochre. You draw as lightly as you can. You're gonna, for this dragon, you're basically gonna need a light color, a medium color, and then a real dark one. That's all you really need. So if you can find, you know, even 3 markers around the house that are different colors, that'll be good, if you can. All right, we'll start with that. This is about in the middle of my paper, from side to side, and maybe a little below.
Sharing it.
Oh. What's going on? I can hear myself.
Granny
Okay.
is on.
So we don't need this to be too far off. So let's find the middle of the paper, somewhere on the lower side, so we can have nice big wings. Maybe if I find middle, I'm going to go just a little below. Okay? And I'm going to make myself a wide rainbow like this. Okay? And then right underneath it, about how big I think my belly's going to be, I'm going to make another rainbow, a little bit smaller like that. Okay? The golden arches.
Are you doing pencil instead?
I'm going to start it out with a pencil just because I don't want to draw the whole thing in pencil, but there's some things that I might draw them on there and I'll be able to erase it. That's my plan. Okay? Sound good? All right. So here it's going to be a little bit smaller because I have a little bit smaller piece of paper. All right. Have that so far?
This one makes sense.
All right. Don't look at anything
Matthias.
on this picture except this part right here, okay? Just see how that shoulder is? We want to draw that in there. So you may have to kind of start up here, but you're going to round this piece around like that.
Looks good.
Oh.
All right. The front of the chest is basically a line that's straight up and down, okay? And the length of his neck is about the same as this. So whatever the size is here, that's about how high we're going to go up, okay? So right off the front here, you're going to have a line that comes right straight down like this, okay?
Yes.
So far, so good? All right. If you lean this line forward, he's going to be getting down in the face of the warrior. But if you keep it straight up and down, it will be he's holding his ground. Okay. All right. Now what we're going to do is the back of his neck. Okay. So what I'm going to have you do is skip a little space, and you're going to round this a little bit like that. Okay. It's kind of funny, but it will work. All right, we're going to do that. rainbow, and then we're gonna bring this down to his back. And as it goes down, it's gonna get a little bit wider, okay? So as you come down, it's gonna be a little more triangular. So it looks like that. So far, so good?
Yep.
All right. There's no right or wrong. There's no hard, fast rule as to like the proportions making it look like a dragon, right? That's not what it's about. Sometimes that's the case, you know, the difference between a bear's face and a dog's face. It has something to do with the proportions of things. But this doesn't really matter because what makes it a dragon, girls?
The
Wings.
The wings is one thing, yeah. What else?
Tail.
It having a tail, yes, is another thing.
It's
4 legs.
face.
Baby 4 legs.
Tongue.
Fire.
Yeah, all of these things make make a dragon. So you don't you put the combination of them together, whether you have big, small parts or whatever the proportions are, they don't matter because it's what it is, right? The winged beast with a tail and the sharp points here and there. So that's all you need. Okay. All right, we're going to do the rest of the face. We're going to come around with this, and we're going to bring this down the front like that. All right? That's going to be his snout. And you're going to make another piece that comes like this. Looks kind of like Dino. Do you guys know who Dino is?
The dinosaur.
Yeah. From the Flintstones.
Yeah.
He looks nice now, but we're going to make him look mean. Okay? From his throat here, you're going to bring another line like this, and it's going to round around like that. Okay? And if you can, this is one of the things you do to have him have his mouth open, is that you're having a little line that runs kind of like this, which, in this case, he could have maybe...
A bit closer, you think?
You can't see it at all?
Well, I can't see it really.
Well, it's like right here.
It's a little.
Oh, strobing for everyone.
Just pick it up.
Well, there's a lot of stuff. It probably could just
Oh,
stay
it's
close,
okay.
you know?
I
It's
will
okay.
explain it more. It's not important.
Okay.
I don't want you to knock it over and then we'll be in it. Okay,
It's strobing.
right heat. Strobing? Is that what
It was
said?
like vibrating
Why?
because I slid it.
Okay. All right, right here. Well, that's it. Let's put the horn on there. So we're gonna have a horn like this, and then maybe a slightly smaller one right here. Okay. He has this. I don't know what you'd call it. What's this?
Jowls.
Heels.
Maybe like
Oh.
a fin or something on the side of his face. So that is going to
Jowls?
connect.
I didn't know.
It's going to come out here, and it's going
I
to
didn't know
connect
what
to
she
the
said,
upper
yeah.
part of his mouth like that. All right. So if I do that down here, maybe can you see this pencil one or not?
She says you can't see
It-
the
What?
strobe. You messed it up with the strobe.
You can see it.
Don't move it.
Oh no, the drawing.
Oh, sorry. the ridge.
Okay.
You could probably do a little darker on the pencil.
But she
I'm gonna
can't.
do
She
it-
can.
I'm going to do it in
Oh,
marker.
right,
I'm
right.
going to do it in marker in a minute. You'll see. All right. That's okay. That's all you need to know. Don't make him have a round eyeball, because round eyeballs are for, like, wide-eyed innocence. They're not for mean, fire-breathing dragons. And we're going to do this darker later, but you're going to put a line kind of like that, okay? And you can put a line here at where his nostril's going to be. And what would happen with the mouth, in this one, we'll just make it dark on the inside here. If you have the teeth, I'll draw the teeth when it comes time. Okay. This is good enough for now. We'll come back. Okay? You don't make something, flawless and then forget about all the rest of the picture. You work a little bit all over the whole thing so that everything is at the same level. Okay. Before I forget, I want to put little triangles on the back of his neck. So you might have one right up here, kind of between his horns, and as long as we make it different colors, you'll be able to separate it from the horns. Okay? Oop, popped off the rest here. Okay. There you go. All right. Everybody got that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's just gonna keep getting better now. All right, we're gonna continue his tail, okay? So you're gonna take the bottom line, and you're gonna bring that down almost to the other side of the paper. No matter what size paper you have, we're gonna fill it up with the tail. So drag that thing way over here, okay? About where you think that you're gonna turn it up, I want you to bring the top part and bring those two pieces almost together, okay? Then you're gonna bring this piece out, and this is gonna be super skinny. And the skinnier you make it, the more it looks like it's long and it just goes twisting back into the picture. Okay? So try to make it thin. And then you're going to have a little triangle-y pointy part on there. Okay? Now I want you to, let me do that here. So I'm going to bring that down here, and I'm going to bring this down almost to meet it, and then I'm going to twist it out. Okay. Good? Alright, we're going to put some legs on here. Like I said, you want them relatively short. I think it will just appear a little more graceful than you think, than maybe you want it to be if they get to be too long. The front one is right off of this rounded part here. So we're going to bring that line back a little bit, and it's going to be kind of wider at the chest and get a little narrower at the ankle. It has a little piece that goes back, and then a big piece that comes forward. Okay? So just continues chest. It's sort of the same idea as our shoulder is, right attached to like where our chest is. It's the same idea. Alright, so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go forward a little bit. Remember, the bottom of the foot is going to be flat. Because, that's how it works. You're going to have flat feet. Maybe a little arch, but okay. Let's do this guy in the back. And this one is coming forward just a little bit. So again, you have sort of an oval-y piece like this. Like whenever we're doing animals, we're kind of thinking about that. Bring that piece forward like that. So if I'm doing it in pencil, what's going to happen is I'm going to be able to erase that line that's in the middle. What I'm doing with the colored one is that I'm just going to draw something darker over it and disguise it. Okay? Okay. I've got Veronica and Daphne here with me today, wearing their masks and separated. Just because that's important. Alright. Then we're going to have this leg that comes forward. And the two that are on the other side of his body would appear to be just slightly smaller, but definitely not longer. Okay? Don't have them hanging down longer than, don't have that. You don't want that. It'd be weird. He'd be walking like this. That would, not be good.
That's not cute.
That's not quite as ferocious.
No.
But, okay, like that. And then this one is going backwards just a little bit. Alright. I feel like I have dirt on my nose, do I?
No. Oh, maybe. I think it's a shadow.
Oh. Alright. Okay.
I hate mine.
So I'm going to take my eraser right now on my pencil one, and I'm going to erase this part of the belly and this part right there, probably right here on the neck too. Okay, and I think from now on out I'm going to just go ahead and use my, what do you call it?
Marker?
Pen. Yeah. So I've got a little Sharpie fine point. I mean, what's the brand that makes, is it Pentel? They make great, markers that come in a variety of sizes of nibs, and those things are fantastic. Get waterproof ones, I think, in most cases, so that if you drop your drink on top of your drawing, you don't ruin it all. Alright. Let's do the wings now, okay? So, yeah, alright. This is confusing to me. Okay. we're gonna do this big wing on there. And if you look at it, it has the bones that are holding up the, what? What do you call this part?
The flaps.
The webbing.
Very good, very good. The webbing that's between the bones, that's for flying. You know, they're just skinny little bits, but they're in stripes and they get shorter. Do you see that? This one's going to be a nice long one, and then you may not have this many, you may have more, I don't know what you're going to have, but they're just little skinny little stripes. You want to start it right where the shoulder is, okay? If you put it back here, when he was flying, his face would fall forward. It has to be up in the front, okay? You're going to make a line that goes from his shoulder. Don't worry about these spikes in the back of the neck, because this is in front. Okay, so if you have to go over them, go over them. You're going to bring a line that kind of goes up like this. Then you're going to make it tilt back this way a little bit. And then I want you to bring it way close to the corner of your page. No matter how big your paper is, bring it over there. Okay, you want a nice big wing. Alright, so I'm going to do that with this one. I'm going to go up. I'm going to go over a little bit, and then I'm going to go out a little bit more. And then I'll start here. I'll come back and make this a little skinny little piece like that. Okay? Then, if you notice, these are all sort of in a line. Okay? So if you start here, and you go back towards the body, that'll work kind of like that. Alright? And maybe down here, and then you just sort of have short ones. Okay? Don't overthink it. You're going to have a dragon when you're done. It's going to look cool. There's no real right or wrong way of doing any of this stuff. Frankly, there's not right or wrong way of doing pretty much anything with art as far as I'm concerned. You know? You might want to learn things so that you can show better what you like, but it doesn't matter what it is. I'll get my tail in the way. Just go over. Yeah, move it. Alright. Okay. Now between each of these bones, you're going to have a this smile shape, curve shape. Okay? Just make sure it's curving towards the dinosaur, the dragon, not away from it. So it's going to curve in. Alright? You're going to go like that. Or smiles when you get down to the tail. Okay? Like that. Alright. This pen is not great. Alright. Good? How are we doing? Are we doing good? Are we doing well?
No one said anything yet. Everyone's quiet.
No comments?
No.
Everybody, nobody's out there?
No,
Maybe
there's
it's just us.
there's 6 people.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now the important thing is we want to have this wing that's on the other side, right? You don't want him to have just one wing, that would be sad. I think I want to do this. Alright? Okay. So, the line that's on the inside, or the outside of this wing, I want to pick this in a good place. Okay, I want to pick where I put that line. It's important. If I put it way out here, what's going to happen is it's going to overlap his head, which in this case might not make a lot of difference, but it might not be ideal, his face and everything. If I do it right about here, it's going to have his wings are going to be. If I go right here, what happens is I have a little piece of it under his chin, and that's not a great. I don't think in this case that's a great thing. So I want to get it up by his head enough. So I'm going to go from, I guess, about where his the right horn is, okay? And I'm going to have a line that goes up, right up to that corner like that. Way, way up there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, now it has a few of the bones that stick out there that are in a diagonal line. So I'm going to make a few of those running sort of parallel with each other that get shorter. Okay? I'm going to go kind of like that. Alright? And you're going to make a downward curve on all of those. how it looks like a wing back there? Yes. So I'm going to come right out of this horn, have a line that's, oh, this one's worse. Alright, I'm going to have this, and this one, I like that. Not necessarily fill up the whole section here. Actually, I probably have to have a piece like this. The last thing you're probably having is a little curve that goes towards the first one that you did. Okay, because you know that it's wide. So I'd have one more little curve right there. Okay? Alright, before, should we do the guy right now?
Sure.
Sure.
Alright.
Yeah.
We pretty much get everything drawn on here. We'll go ahead and put our figure in here. That's what you call it in art, you call it a figure. Alright. Maybe this figure is wearing some kind of armor or something like that. So its shoulders and stuff are going to be a little bit exaggerated. Okay, so what we're going to do with this, I'll do it with the yellow up here first. If I make a person that's that's taller than my dragon, what that sort of means is either the dragon is really little or the person is a lot closer to us and the dragon's farther away. But in this case, obviously, it's a little guy. So we'll do sort of a little guy, but if you make yours a little bigger, a little smaller, that's fine too. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You ready? Okay, so start with a little horizontal line like this. And what I want you to do with that is to sort of make it into a triangle. Okay? That is the shoulders and the waist. Okay? Because he comes in a little bit at the waist here. Alright? You're going to have a small head. Alright? So just put a small lump kind of like right here. It's going to look kind of like that. Alright? So down here, I'm going to have the same thing, a little line. I'm going to bring those two lines in a little bit. What happens is, when you're drawing little figures like this, that just a little bit more shape that goes just a little bit more to one side or the other side, or a tilt to a line, just makes the figure, you'll see that it'll look like it's doing something, even though you really can't see anything but just a big lump and how it moves. It's just like when you're on the beach, and as far away as you can see, you see a little black shape there. You could probably guess man or woman just by the size of it, and then whether the person is coming towards you or going away, just by the way that lump looks, even though it's so far away that you couldn't see any of the parts. We just can recognize that. All right. From that, we're going to, the lower part of the body is going to be longer. So whatever size your triangle is, we're going to bring two legs that are coming down. And because he's, fighting, we're going to have him spread those legs, or she, we're going to have him spread those legs apart a little bit. If I make this one just a hair shorter, with a foot kind of going like this, and a foot like that goes out there, that's going to mean that foot is stepping towards the dragon a little bit. Okay? But if you separate the legs, that's going to make him seem a little, he's going to be trying to make himself larger, right? And this guy, and so with the feet, you're just basically making kind of a lump on the bottom of your, don't be afraid to make the feet big, okay? Better too big than too small. I'm not going to take my boot off and show you how big your feet are, but I've done that. That's in something else we did, right? The kite one. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put, this one is a little wacky, I can tell you, because I've drawn this with kids before. What he's doing, hanging the sword down, that is not quite as good as having that sword up there. So we're going to do that. So coming out of the side here, you're going to make a little short line, and another little short line, you're going to make a little V, okay? Then thicken that V up, because he's got clothes on, and that will look like he has big muscly arm, or she has a big muscly arm, okay? The sword, I think, depending on where you tilt it, has more of an aggressive So straight up is probably one thing. If it's pointing, I guess if it's pointing towards them, that's a little bit harder to do though. Alright, so I'm going to make a sword, so it's going to be long on the top, but it's going to have a little piece, the hilt, that sticks out the bottom. Okay? Like that. Or mine looks like a bat. I'm going to beat
A
that.
club.
Yeah. It's going to beat the dragon with a club. Okay? Or looks like a lightsaber. Okay? Don't try to show little fingers and wrists and clothes and all that kind of stuff, because this figure, we don't need to have all those things. Alright, the other arm, this one I decided that I would have, like for balance, if he's got the sword up like that, they would have the other hand kind of up. Okay? So I'm going to do it like that. So I'm going to have it, sort of the same thing, that V shape. And, your hand the hand might be thumb inside, but it might be just kind of straight up like that, because it's going to try to look a little more aggressive. Okay? So same thing, but this should be short little pieces. Okay? Your, when you break up your arm like this, your whole arm is long, but when you're breaking it up into pieces, they usually are a little shorter than sometimes they naturally come out. Okay, so we got our guy there, or girl, and I'm going to use some other colors on that. Before I do start coloring, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what I meant about the cross hatching. So when you have a pen, you can't if you color things in, you can't color them in like light black and dark black, because it's only one color that's coming out. So what you do is this thing called cross hatching, which is where you're making little lines, and then you cross those lines, and that'll be kind of a, from a distance, it will seem a little bit grayish, but the more lines you crisscross and crisscross with the less white that's left behind, it appears darker and darker. And, it takes a little bit of practice, and some people do it real, like, scritchy scratchy all over the place, and some people do it very, very neatly. Most of the time you want to work within your realm of being able to make a straight line, I think. So if you can't move your whole wrist and keep making a straight line, just work in smaller bits. I'm going to do something with the face first, just so you can see. If you wanted to have teeth coming down, right, he'd have the teeth like here, but then his snout would be over that. And then maybe he'd have teeth coming out of the side of his. Uh-oh. Somebody's trying to break my washing machine. Okay, and so you'd have this. You probably want to bring that over. It has that piece that comes over like this. Like I said, we made just a slanty line like this. Maybe a nostril. I don't know if you can see this, but I'll show you after. Horns. I'm going to take my marker. The first thing maybe I'll do is take my marker and go over the basic of the body. I'm going to change this tail a little bit because it overlapped.
There's like barely anything in it.
That's probably why. The other thing that a lot of dragons have is a breastplate. So there's a strip that runs down the front, and it has lines that go across like that. So if I've got everything basically sketched out here, I can take before I get going, take my eraser and just get rid of all the pencil lines. Which, I can do when I'm done, too, as long as it's a pen. You can't do it if it's something that's going to make a big smudgy mess, crayon or something. Okay. So the cross-hatching, in this one, where the darks are around the body, all right? Where the boning and to separate the boning from the body and stuff. So what I would do is I'll take this little area and I'll make little short lines that run like this. It's takes kind of a while, and I'm not going to spend the whole time doing this, but I'll show you what I mean anyway. So if I color it in about that much, that starts to give it a little, it's obviously not going to appear to the viewer that it's white anymore. What I'm doing is making them a little longer as I get towards the body. Now to get it quite dark, like right down the base, I'm going to draw in the opposite direction, or in just a different direction, so that I'm crossing it. And I'm hatching at it with little bites. And I believe that this all got started when they would make etchings for like early newspapers, and to be able to show illustrations and print them, because you're doing something in black and white and you're printing it out, and so you want to have it look like there's different shades. Oh.
We're just gonna.
And so you see that in there, very skilled. And it's also really hard to carve a curved line, so you would have to work with little short, straight lines. I did a lot of this kind of drawing at a certain point. You can just have it because you can get a little small piece of paper, and I was just sort of fascinated that the more black you put on there, the more whatever is white, it really resonates and seems really important. I always remember this one class I had, a drawing class, and I don't know who the artist was. I want to say it's somebody, like it could have been Michelangelo or something. I don't know. It was but anyway, what it was is a drawing of a stable, and obviously it was very dark on the inside. It was like a daytime situation, but they showed the interior of the stable, and it was so dark that, and I think it was cross-hatching in there, I'm not sure, I can't remember. And there was a window, like as you looked through the door into the stable, there was a window on the other side. And then there was a little, it was dark inside, and then it was lighter out around, and maybe a little bit of trees, maybe a sense of a fence or something like that. And I remember the teacher saying that white in that window was the same color white as it was on the outside, where the white paper had trees and stuff. But it appeared, because everything around it was so black, it appeared like it was whiter than white. And I remember that sticking in my head, that it was all about the contrast, that it totally changed the meaning of that white. It's fascinating to me. I wish I knew more of the particular details so I could actually find the picture, but anyway, so I did a lot of things where I colored a lot of black on a lot of stuff, because I love leaving that little tiny bit of white behind. Huh?
I said, what a lovely story.
Okay, so another thing that I'll have is, I'll be a little darker on the inside of these legs that are underneath here. The other thing I don't want you to forget is make sure that you put something, some kind of a line to it, suggest that this dragon is not floating in air, but actually on the ground, right? We don't want it to look like it's floating in air. So I'm going to flesh out this guy's clothes. He's got kind of like a gown on here or something. So I'm going to bring kind of a robe down like that, maybe some sort of belt on there. But you can see it's not super hard to make the person, especially people standing from behind. Okay.
Wow. It's a full-length skirt.
Like Darth Vader.
It's gonna get in the way.
That's what he's got here.
Yeah, I know.
Like.
I'm getting mine a mini skirt.
I have a bunch of warrior pictures, and they have.
Yeah.
But I think, you know what? It's not a skirt. It's a long coat, because they are working in very cold conditions.
Yeah. Because
That's what's happening. That's
dragons prefer cold climates.
Yeah, they don't live in the Mediterranean. You don't find a dragon like this in the Bahamas, do you?
Just chilling on the beach.
What about a Komodo dragon?
Like, and I might maybe shade this side of his face a little bit.
Don't they live in
Mono
warm
dragons
areas?
are pretty dope though.
Mono dragon.
Mono
I think
dragons.
Oh, that kind of didn't do great. I made the eye.
They're probably
disappear.
related to snakes, guys.
They're reptiles.
I don't know, you guys, how you feel about snakes?
I don't like snakes.
I know.
I don't even want to admit that I don't like snakes because I'm so afraid somebody's going to do something terrible to me with snakes.
You are?
It's dramatic.
My enemies,
Well, now you've given everybody the idea.
my
Yeah.
enemies are going to do something horrible to me with snakes. All right.
They might.
So,
Is it worth it? Let me work.
the other thing you can do is, to make this go along a little quicker, is use a bigger marker.
Or a gray marker instead of cross hatching.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. You can buy markers in different colors too. That's good. All right. How long are we taking?
37.
Okay. So if you're doing it in the color, I've got my gold and I want my rusty color and like a dark
I
brown.
wish I had that pen.
Okay. So I'll do the guy here or the
This is
girl.
just
Okay. Maybe I'll
lot.
make it a girl.
I like it.
Put my thing down.
This person is not gonna be scared of a dragon. So this shows you that you have that nice dark light color that you work with, and it's easy to draw over this. So I'm looking for my. Actually, I've got to thicken these up. Let's see how fast I can color this in.
Make them thick.
Okay, so if you're interested in making a donation, you can go to ValerieWallaceFineArts.com, and you know, I would love to have a little token of your, whatever, appreciation or just anything. You can also use Venmo. I'm on Venmo at Valerie Wallace 6, I think.
They'll probably find you give a picture if they search Valerie Wallace.
It looks like this. This is what the picture looks like.
You're not quite in the frame, but okay.
Beautiful.
It does look like that.
It does. It's my Jim Morrison pose, just so you know. So be thinking that, and you'll be able to find it. You'll know.
I've got a shirt with that on it.
So, yep. Yeah, I think Veronica does too.
I do.
It's
It's a very, mine's very wide and boxy.
Oh. She called me like the child extra small or something.
She didn't think that I was
So
gonna fit
this
in
one
that.
I'm gonna put dark right under here, and then maybe I'm gonna put a nice
Oh, frick.
tongue out there, and I'm gonna give him some angle to his. Well, anyway, you can find me on Venmo if you want to write me a check. My address is on my what do you call it? My website too, or you just ask me, or don't. Whatever. Watch it. If you know, money's tight. If you can't afford it, that's fine. One thing you could do is share it with somebody, because that's just fun. It's just really, really fun for me to be reaching out to other people. But at the same time, hey, if it's just the family, it's good for me anyway. I don't care. The other thing is, if you want to watch any of the other shows, they're all on my Facebook page, Valerie Wallace Fine Arts. You can find them in the video section, or they're just posted. And also on YouTube, which is it's more fun if you watch them on YouTube, because it actually tallies up who watches them, and then I feel good because I see people are watching them. I went up like 100 views in a week, so it was pretty good. So I like that. So those are things you can do for me to let me know that you're having fun and you're learning something. Or just maybe you're not learning anything. Maybe you think I'm a moron.
It is possible.
They could think that.
It is possible. Alright, so to make my little points on the back of his neck show, I'm going to make it dark, very dark right around that. So those will show up. We're always thinking about contrast. What was I saying about contrast before? Oh, about the window in the stable.
Yeah.
The magic of contrast. The magic of contrast of value, meaning the darks and the lights. Right?
How could it be such a mystery?
Don't sing a song because I might get muted because
I don't
there's
think you're gonna get muted in that one.
No, on that one?
No.
Alright.
What was that
The
from?
We Sing like Mystery Mansion.
Yeah.
What made you sing that?
You said
Because it's
magic.
magic.
Oh.
The magic of music. How could it be such a mystery?
Did anyone else watch We Sings by
Mostly
YouTube?
no.
Well, yeah.
My kids?
Well, I won't say now what I'm thinking.
What?
I'll say it later.
Yeah, just weird kids like you.
I don't want to
Yeah.
name drop anyone right now.
Yeah, let's not offend anyone. Let's just not offend. Don't forget, I'm going to check everybody. Make sure you're having a piece of some land here for your person, your thing to stand on. And a little shadow, like right around the feet, is very, very
I've
important.
neglected my warrior. Looks like like a Lego Superman.
Your guy. Oh, Ronnie, that looks awesome.
Beautiful.
Love.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So sexy.
Coloring
So
in.
sassy.
We're doing great today.
Freaking great. Freaking bats. I love Halloween.
Freaking bats.
So Veronica, you gonna help me haul some sticks to the burn pile today?
Did you know about those?
She's gonna say yes, because
Not
people are
particularly.
we got a lot of trees knocked down. So there's a lot of sticks all over the place around here.
Nope.
Yep. Alright, and I will come up with some other, I think somebody requested a butterfly, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do a butterfly coming up. And I'm also gonna do a Viking, because I like that. Vikings.
I've heard of bicycles. Oh.
And I also like, what else? Oh, probably, I think they like the barns and cottages and houses are something that people like to learn how to do, so I think I'm gonna do that too. I am gonna put, something, maybe I'll just use this yellow. I guess that's not very. Alright, is that good? Have we said everything that needs to be said?
Yes.
Everybody hang in there.
Yes.
Be thankful about, we are safe. That's the important thing, right? I know. I'm gonna put some teal horns on my guy, on my dragon.
Cute.
Okay, so anyway, thank you, and then I'm gonna give you a little close up of what happened. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Hey, Leanna. Hey, Jennifer. Oh, Crystal, I hope you're feeling better. Oh, hey, Sarah. Okay, this is it. So I'll close in on that. Thank you for watching. Watch me again tomorrow at 1 o'clock. All right.